Now we are in the great time where we have all the resources to do everything ourselves, but no demand for those resources, no will for those resources. Because we have the technology, we have the phones, we have the resources, we have the lines of communication, we have the ability to produce our own stories and our own media, right? Our own narratives. But our willfulness and our consciousness is so low that what we're producing does not matter. It's meaningless. It's meaningless. We keep producing meaninglessness. And what does that say about us? See, in Mexico, the youth have just overtaken and they rioting in the streets because they don't like the way their government is handling the cartel. In Madagascar, Gen Z took to the streets because they don't like the way their government is handling the state of affairs because they're not getting jobs. In Nepal, they took to the streets and they took out the prime ministers and they replaced them with their own government because they didn't like the way that the government was handling things. But for our generation, we're happy with a new mayor. We're happy with getting our way in a new election. We're happy with a file coming out that we can laugh about and entertain ourselves. Because the information age is gone. The entertainment era is here, which is all about just capturing the attention. The attention. The great attention economy. My brother Lajre, that's the goal for today, actually. We're going to build out a TikTok army of the Superman. And why do I have a cup that says Superman? Because I'm reminding you what you need right now. It's the ability to get started and the ability to finish what you started. The only reason you're not starting the thing is because there's something that is seeped inside you that is comparing yourself to everybody else. You're consuming what everybody else is producing and you're thinking that you're not enough because you're comparing somebody's chapter 19 to the start of your story. Yeah, what they doing looks good. They got the nice car, they got the whip, they on vacation, they moving around, and you like, why am I not there? You're consuming somebody else's life instead of focusing on your own. That is the issue today. Because you also have the great power to do whatever you want to. This is the problem is that we have so much power today. We can literally do whatever we want to in the time. You can develop yourself, the way you speak, the way you think, the posture, stomach in, chest out, head up. You can shift the way that you move. You have to shift your way. You have to understand your way. What is your way? If I want to, I could be somewhere in Dubai flying with a jetpack on in the next 30 days. Saying this 5 years ago, 10 years ago looked crazy. I can utilize this moment in time with AI to turn myself into a billionaire without needing nobody else. Just sit in a dark room and just be in there, just cracking away, figuring it out. Now, you told somebody else that before, they said, boy, go get you a goddamn job. But it ain't no jobs to get. We're not in the era where you have to ask for permission and you have to understand what that means. It means that the people that were granting you permission are no longer powerful. They're no longer needed. They're no longer necessary. The people that you thought that you needed, you think you need their platform. You think you need this celebrity. You think you need this person to recognize you. You think you need this person to post. You think you need this comment. You have to change the condition of your belief because you're not living in the time in which we are in. And you can only become successful by understanding the time in which you are living. That is the only way that people are able to achieve great success. They understood I'm in the railroad era. They understood I'm in the printing press era. They understood I'm in the internet era. They understood in each one of those eras, they built businesses based on the time that they were living in, and that allowed them to exceed and become successful. So by understanding the time that you're living in, this permissionless era, this resource era where we have the AI, you have the robots coming. You understand me? That also produces so many opportunities because on the polar end, people are looking for connection. People are looking for community, right? This is why wellness continues to spike up. Longevity continues to spike up because people are tired of things that get rich schemes, all right? And people are tired of, I'm going to just take this supplement and be healthy. and it's just gonna work. We know it does not work. So people are looking for rituals that they can practice daily. If you got the time to focus, and I need you to focus and lock in on your rituals, because you're consuming so much of the world and you're thinking that there's no opportunities. It's starting to make you nihilistic about self. It's starting to think about how there's other people ahead of you that you will never catch up. And you're disrespecting your own ability. You're disrespecting your potential. You've put out that fire that you're supposed to have. You're supposed to wake up with a certain fire. You understand me? Going to feel good in life. Because when you feel good in life, you perform good in life. And you might think, man, I ain't got enough discipline. I ain't got enough willpower. That ain't it. That ain't it. You just don't have the right systems. And once you have the right systems in place, irregardless of your mood, you will still become successful. But the only thing that truly exists in this life is belief. Everything is a product of belief. That's it. What you believe becomes reality. So that means every belief that you have, spiritual beliefs, money beliefs, physical beliefs, right? All your metaphysical beliefs. Whatever you believe, whatever you focus and pour your energy and thought in your subconscious mind into, that's what's possible or not possible. So you creating the rules in your life. And you think that you need all these things. You just need to wake up, assume the posture of the greatest version of yourself, right? And then act in the belief of which you're already great. And assume that you're already good. And start moving in motion of the assumed self that is already performing at a higher level. There's a 3-step process to that. So I wake up, gotta meditate, gotta reflect, externalize, which is writing things down, take my supermind, giving me a brain boost. Because I need this additional cognition throughout the day because we're living in the great era. I could not afford to be distracted in the time of gold. Can you imagine? Everybody's digging for gold outside and they're finding it. And instead of you be out there digging for gold, finding it, refining it, getting to the process, selling from shovels, figuring out how to become a jewelry maker, anything, you're watching other people dig for gold. Or you're distracted because those who dig the gold built machines to distract you with. The whole time, the opportunity is right there outside. But you looking at how much somebody else done got that you distracted from their success instead of getting in the game. And this is the problem. Niggas not getting in the game. We becoming too in love with the planning phase of things instead of the execution phase. The planning phase, it feels so good when you planning something, man. You know what I'm saying? You getting your thoughts together. You on ChatGPT. You know what I mean? ChatGPT give you a nice script of things. The script starts spitting out fire. You feel like, oh yeah, I'm ready. And you got so excited about it because it got you a little dopamine hit. You felt like the planning was the winning. Now when it's time for you to execute, you like, wait a minute. How come I ain't get none of that done yet though? You ain't got none of it done yet, though. Next 30, 60, 90 days, look, we headed into a whole new 2026. Are you happy with your performance in 2025? See, a supermind don't do that. A supermind is able to take thoughts and put them into actions because your intentions, your attention, and your actions are aligned. That's when you perform and you produce a life. That's when you learn how to think to live because you have to get your intentions right. You have to feed the neo mind. The neo mind is the neocortex, the one that is going to help you with the executive function of focusing so you can manage yourself over time so you can execute the things that you know. It is a performance issue that you have. It's not a knowledge issue. It's not an access issue. It's a performance issue. It's the neo mind. You know, when you watch a high-level conversation, and most people can't get through a high-level conversation. Why? Because they robbed you of your attention span. So now you sitting there. The hardest thing is you to sit there for a couple hours and just learn. So if you cannot learn in this era, you will lose. You will be distracted the whole time while the opportunities are right there, yelling at you, screaming at you. But you're distracted. You said, man, I ain't about to sit there and watch that. It's not that you don't want to, it's that you can't. You know it's valuable. You know you're going to learn something, but you can't. You have to get new processes, new systems. Stop thinking you need more discipline. You need better systems. Your systems become your rituals. What are your loops that you're doing on a daily basis? I've traveled around the world and I was teaching the people from Birmingham. Oh, that was so fun. Birmingham, UK, London, UK, Amsterdam, Bermuda. I mean, we go into spaces that people typically don't even go to, and we unlocking and rewiring the mind for performance. But I only get people for 1 hour. I only get them for 2 hours or 3 hours. In a short amount of time, I'm trying to get them to open their mind, because you start off with helping them break the pattern of self, helping them open and expand the idea of self. And once they're there at this peak energy and this peak state of openness, that's when we go into the content. But when I think about content, I'm thinking about it differently than most people. Some of you all got my book that most people don't even know I got. It's called 19 Seeds of Content. I'm actually refreshing and putting out a new version of that in 2026. But content is to raise the consciousness so that you're preparing the audience, right, for a changed outcome, a changed behavior, a new growth. So the content is just the preparation. How do you prepare the mind? And so sometimes a person just wants something straight. That's not how we learn. Learning is not a straight path. It's not linear. You have to develop the mind. So I'm preparing the mind to accept a new idea, which allow you to activate that neuroplasticity, because what you're trying to do is have an identity shift. Once you can have an identity shift, you start performing as the person that you are, because currently the identity that you have is insufficient. You got to reawaken the fire. You have to gain clarity. You have to increase the capacity and increase your capabilities. You have to stop allowing people to rob your attention in the intelligent age. The intelligent age. Every day, I get an update from my AI, sends me my pulse. I train it on what I want it to send me. So therefore, it's consistently sending me updates on things that I need. I can go through multiple different AIs and I can utilize them specifically for what? Not actualization, but maximization. The AI cannot help you with the internal self. That is you. That is the God self. But it can help you with the external self. That is the maximization of utilizing the machines to go do things for you. Similar to a rich man who has a great workforce. You have a great workforce, but you have not done the internal work so that you don't actually have a need for the workforce. Because when you do the internal work, you learn your gifts, your skills, and your talents. You go within yourself and you understand what your vision is. And then when you have a clear vision, now you have a clear instruction for the machine to do the work that you needed to do to maximize self. Because you will be limited. But when you have clarity on what you need to be doing, now you can utilize the AI so that it can help you get those things done. But the problem is that people are not actualizing, not going within, because you're so distracted that you're not spending time in the reflection, being with the God within. See, the God within, which is most people are afraid of. They get you afraid of that in your seminary schools. They get you afraid of that when you go to church. They got some of you afraid of that when you go to the mosque. They got you afraid of the God within. You have not sit and settled with this God within, and you've been starving it, denying that it exists, and you've turned God into this external spirit instead of this internal consciousness. So anytime you need help, you're looking outside of self. When I was younger, all the Christians that I knew, they thought God was upstairs in the sky. That was literally what most people thought. They literally thought he was up there in the cloud somewhere. They talked to God. They said, where God at? They'd be pointing upstairs. God is in the heavens. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what people thought for thousands of years. Like he up there, and I just be like, up where, brother? Oh, it's a clear day. I can see. Is he in space? Where he at? He in the clouds. No, y'all probably some of y'all don't remember because social media came around, right? And knocked some sense into some people, and they couldn't hide that no more. But there was a time where they really thought God was in the clouds. You know what I mean? You were telling the paint picture of God and they have a clouded, bearded white man. You know what I'm saying? A white's like most of the community grew up thinking that God was this white man with this cloudy beard in the sky, and that's where heaven was. No, don't laugh. This is true. You grew up as a child being robbed of the inner God process. So that means the whole time you were not feeding that God within. You were not breathing in that God. You were not activating it. You were not believing in it. You were not merging it with self, not activating it whatsoever. Your whole life you've been taught that God is this external system, which means that there's a disconnect from you in that external reality. Yet we feel the most close with God when we close our eyes. Think about that. And in the age of the machines, man must be connected to the God within so that man can conquer the machines. Because conquering the machines is like conquering your lower self. It is conquering the physical self, right? It is just conquering aspects of self, because when you can master that, then you can have the machines do your will. Because what does God have us do? His will. So when you become the God of the machines, then you have the machines do your will. That becomes power. Now all of a sudden you maximizing self. You're taking the skills and the degrees of knowledge that the machines have and the capability, and you're putting them to work for you. Therefore, you develop a workforce, which means you increase your means. And when you increase your means, you increase your productivity. And that increase in productivity allows you to increase your wealth. There's a cycle to this. That's why we are in the great age. And so you're confused about reality based on what's happening on your phone in your feed. It's confusing you. It's confusing you when the growth should be coming high level. The goal is becoming high level, which is the actualization and the maximization of self, reaching peak. So you haven't seen me talking about a lot, because this is what I've been working on. Becoming high level. Becoming high level. When do you reach your highest level? It is first start with, there's psycho, which is the mind. There's social, and there's physical. There's a physical state of being. There's a psychological state of being. Then there's the environment. When you can shift these three, you start producing success without changing nothing else in life. Somebody thinking, oh, I need to go to school, get this master's degree and do all these things. And then I need to do this, that, and the third. No. The people that you know already have great ability to assist you in your life. And the only reason that they're not assisting you in your life because you're not the person that they want to assist. Meaning that you're not the version of the person that they want to assist. Because they know if they assist this identity that you currently have, it will not maximize. But when you come to them with all the ferociousness and all the fire in your spirit and all the belief within yourself, and already assuming that person, stomach in, chest out, head up, then you're the person that they get the secrets to. You become the person they get access to. You become the person they want to invest in. And all it is just a shift in energy. But when you coming down, tail tucked, tail head down, I don't know what I want to do. I'm not invested in that person. Why would I? You don't pick a racehorse by the one that's depressed, searching for their potential. No, you pick the stallion. You pick the one you know will get out there and run and race. You will bet everything on him. You got to become the person that make everybody else want to bet on. I was talking with my brother who in venture capital, and he like, Keys, man. He said, you at the point where you don't even need a pitch deck. He said, you walk into a meeting, people just believe in you. They want to invest in you. You know what I'm saying? He said when he go there, man, his partners ain't asking him. He say by the time they sitting down and they taking a meeting with you, it's because they already believe in you. So don't be trying to go in there and trying to prove yourself. You can overtalk yourself out the value that you have. Ain't no lion. The lion don't need to goddamn convince you it's a lion. It has to move like a lion, walk like a lion, talk like a lion, hunt like a lion. That's it. But he started trying to convince me. I started thinking you lying. I said, wait a minute, man. I ain't never seen no lion try to convince me you're lying. Your roar is off. Something ain't, I don't like this. You just got to be it. An animal cannot try to sell itself. You know what I'm saying? You just got to be it. Like if that is what you are, then just be it and let the world observe you in your natural state. Just let the world observe you in your natural state. Just be it. And I'm a lion. It is what it is. You know what I'm talking about? In neurosciences, there is no faking it till you make it. It's just a state in which the brain assumes that what you are. There's no faking it till you make it in neuroscience. They lied to you. It is actually how you rewire the brain to become. Assume the state in which you want to be. Do not give your attention to things you not want to see. The Hopi people have said it, the Native American tribe. Do not use the imagination to suffer. Do not use the imagination to think about the things you don't want to come into fruition. We're utilizing this imagination all the wrong ways. Become high level, become high level, become high level. You think I'm cooking in this? I can help you get to peak in the next 30 days before we get to 2026. You want to show up early. That's the only way to be on time. Because when you are a farmer, and we was talking about this in this episode, when you're a farmer, if you miss a cycle, then you have to wait till the next one. That means you got to wait till the next one to get the benefit of planting the seeds and reaping the harvest. But if you do not invest, then you cannot harvest. What are you harvesting in life right now? What is this period in life that you can go grab out? No. Listen, I've been making deposits. I literally traveled around this world making deposits, going in person, building a global community, putting my money up. Ain't nobody doing that. Yeah, there might be somebody, man, they getting more views than Keys right now, but they not in real life though. Not in real life though. The impact is different. I'm a billionaire when it comes to impact. Now watch me go get the wealth that comes along with that impact. Watch me go get the wealth that comes along with that impact. See, the reason why most people won't do it, most people ain't ready to better themselves. If you're not willing, if you don't believe that you're the type of person that you will put all your money in, all your stock in, why should somebody else do that? Why should the rest of the world do that? You have to become the type of person that you would invest in.